So we stopped by a booth here where we got to see a slightly different take on the Match 3 puzzle genre. Can you tell us a little bit about Dungeon Hearts and what kind of game it is?
Dungeon Hearts is a JRPG Match 3 puzzle game where I tried to mash as many different genres of game into one game just to see what came out, and Dungeon Hearts was the result of that.
What genres and games did you try to mash together?
Match 3 game, action game, puzzle game. I don't really like puzzle games, so I wanted to challenge myself to make a puzzle game that I would want to play. And I like action games and RPGs, so I wanted to make a puzzle game that felt like I was playing an action game.
Because it seems a little bit simple at first glance, but then there's a lot of layers of complexity to it, and there's a lot of tactic that goes into it as well.
Yeah, I designed the first few battles to be really simple so that a new player could learn the ropes, but an experienced player could just crush the enemy in a single attack. But then every 2 or 3 battles I add on a new puzzle piece or a new mechanic and tutorialize that so that the player has to think about more. So by the middle of the game, the player has to think about all these different mechanics and the positions of all these different puzzle pieces, which I find hectic, but in a good way.
It is kind of hectic because the action moves ahead, sort of like in a Guitar Hero game where you get the notes coming towards you and you have to sort of line everything up and then execute your attacks.
Yeah, a lot of people just, as soon as they see it, they immediately think, oh, it's like a rhythm game because it is on, kind of like a stave and a bar, and it looks a lot like a rhythm game. I would have loved to be able to work rhythm into the game because that's just one more genre I could have mashed in there.
But sadly, there's no sort of music tunes as you hit your combos like that.
No, but one thing I am doing is that the game comes with 5 soundtracks. When you start the game, you have 1 soundtrack, but every time you beat the game, you unlock a new soundtrack, and every soundtrack is in a different musical style. So I got a heavy metal soundtrack, a chiptune soundtrack, a J-pop soundtrack, a hip-hop soundtrack, and an orchestral one, so that you can choose what music you want to listen to whenever you play the game, and they're all really, really good.
So we haven't touched on the JRPG aspect. You level up your characters. Is that where that comes in?
Yeah, between each enemy, because the game is kind of in a boss rush style where you're going from battle to battle, but between each battle you have a short little Match 3 minigame where you level up all your heroes, and as they attain certain levels, you unlock special abilities. So all the fighters' abilities deal damage, all of the healers' abilities are heals and buff, all the archers' abilities are debuffs, like poison arrows, and then all the mage can slow down the puzzle or change puzzle pieces into his own pieces and manipulate the puzzle stream.
Sounds really complex. I have to say that even though I've played it for a bit, I really didn't get into that. I was just focusing so much on matching 3 that I didn't really get into that second layer of tactics.
I enjoy watching people play the game for the first time because everyone kind of goes through the learning process in the same way. They start making the matches, that's all they care about, just aligning the gems and just pressing the gems, touching the gems, and then as they get through a few battles, they start, oh, now I can align the gems, start getting bigger multipliers and doing bigger attacks. And then after they've gotten to the first boss, then they're like, oh, I have all these special abilities I can use. Then they start using their special abilities, which greatly change the course of battle. And it's fun because everyone kind of learns in the same way.
So what's the plan with Dungeon Hearts? It seems pretty much to be finished, is it?
Yep, I'm still making little minor adjustments to the controls, especially based on what I'm seeing people here play the game. I go home at night and make a little changes to how little knobs feel and whatnot. But it's coming out on March 28th. It's just about done on Steam and iPad.
Steam and iPad, Mac and PC?
Yep, Mac and PC, and then Linux soon afterwards.
And what's the price point?
$2.99.
On all platforms?
If you're at PAX, I have a discount code, so if you need a discount on $2.99, then I can accommodate you.
I would almost be ashamed to ask for that.
I'll give it to you.
Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.